They wanted their political independence.
You fucking fascist! Shame! 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 Shame!
Oh, these kids are really proving me wrong. It's easy to cast aspersions on our forebears from our privileged positions in the most powerful, most equitable, most just, most prosperous country in the history of the world. It's far more difficult and humbling to recognize the complexities of history and show gratitude for the people who made our lives possible. All of that is beside the point. All of that has been missed by the ignorant activists who insist that GW ditch the colonial. The point that they're missing is this: the colonials that the mascot represents were not defenders of colonialism. In fact, they were the opposite of defenders of colonialism. They fought a bloody war, they risked their lives to end colonialism in America and to end rule in Great Britain. They wanted their political independence.
Fuck you fucking fascist! Shame! 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 Shame!
Oh, these kids are really proving me wrong. You see, because my premise was that these students are ignorant and not well behaved. But they're proving me wrong tonight. They called me a fascist for defending George Washington. Behold your country, leftists. Behold. I hope the cameras catch all the faces here, too. Because I think this school costs about $70,000 a year to attend. This is the job they've done. Hey, just for the people in the room, if you have, like that guy right there, what did I say that you disagree with? Does anyone have anything? What did I say that any of you disagree with? Can you name one thing? What? What is it? What is it? What did I say? I can't hear over all the shouting and the screeching and the... What did I say that you disagree with? Could you... Thunder? I can't... What are you saying? I can't hear it. So they can't name one thing. They can't name one thing. Well, I'm glad that now that those people left the room, now we can bring in more people to hear about George Washington. Welcome back in. Glad to hear it. So, well, as I was saying, some kids have missed the point. They missed the point entirely. Because if they were in the room, or if they could listen, or if they had two brain cells to rub together, what they would have realized is, if you oppose colonialism, then you should love the colonial mascot. The colonial mascot is a symbol of fighting colonialism in America. The colonial should be their hero. I don't know who their hero is. I don't want to know who their hero is. The question is, what have these entitled and ignorant history erasers ever done themselves? Those people who were shrieking and screaming, what have they ever done? What credibility do they have? What authority do they have? Outrageous. They signal their own virtue every chance they get. What virtue have they ever actually enacted or embodied? Those spoiled, overgrown children stand atop the shoulders of giants, and they think that they're flying. They never, ever seem to pause and reflect on their own imperfections. They never seem to know even what they're shouting about. They attack the colonials for occupying a land previously inhabited by Native Americans. We all occupy that same land today. Why don't any of us leave? Why don't any of them leave? They're the ones making the claim. If this is stolen land, then why don't those people pick up and go back to their ancestral lands? For most people, that would be an impossibility, because in America, we all hail ancestrally from many different places. Would I go back to Italy? Would I go back to Ireland? Would I go back to Britain? I don't know. I'd try to figure out a way to go back to Greenland, because I know that that's going to come back into America pretty soon. Are we really wise to cast aspersions with the perspective of 250 years on men and women who are in so many ways better than us? The anti-historical, anti-intellectual, and anti-American fanaticism that would do away with George the Colonial is caused by ignorance, of course. But more than that, it is caused by pride. Our generation's unearned and unwarranted sense of moral superiority over our ancestors. That's pride. George Washington had a motto, and GW has adopted this motto very often. We would all do well to remember it. The motto is 3 words. It says, deeds, not words. Deeds, not words. Washington was famously reticent. He didn't signal his virtue to his countrymen. George Washington didn't need to signal his virtue. He enacted virtue. Our founding fathers' critics would do very well to emulate not just Washington, but so many of our colonial forebears. If they quieted their uninformed yaps and instead performed even some small fraction of the great deeds of those great men, those great American colonials, they and all the rest of us would be better off. Perhaps then, we might be interested in what those people have to say. Now, certainly, we are not. Until then, I'm sticking with George the Colonial. First in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of his countrymen. Thank you very much.
Watching how mainstream media is got into young people's minds is honestly terrifying, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, you see these kids walking around repeating the same headlines as if they are facts. It's not because really they are thinking for themselves, no, but simply because that's what they have been fed all their entire life. And it's sad, ladies and gentlemen, because when I watch these clips, I don't feel rage, but I feel sadness. Yes, because I see how far we have drifted from reason, from gratitude, from faith. You see, respect. And what really comes to mind is Deuteronomy 30:19, which says, I have set before you life and death, blessing and curses. Now choose life, that you and your children may live. It's just simple as that. And woe to those who call good evil, who call evil good. You see? Because sometimes that's exactly what it feels like. Yeah, it's not even rocket science, because a lot of these people, they actually think, these students, that they are the ones who are right. You see, Michael Knowles is the evil guy. You hear them, fascist. It's terrible. And I get it, ladies and gentlemen. Life can be complicated, you know. People, they go through pain, they go through fears. But common sense, it has to leave. Some way, somehow, you know. It has to, and it also needs to even show in our words and in our actions. This is the future of America, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in. You see? Yeah, because it's actually crazy how we are living in a time where feelings seem to matter more than facts. Can you imagine? It's terrible. It is, because all these people, the truth doesn't matter for them. It doesn't matter. The reality is they are feelings driven. They are feelings driven. And guess what? The truth doesn't bend to your feelings. It doesn't. Or to your emotions. Truth doesn't disappear because it hurts. No. You see? And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not like saying that these kids, they are the most evil people in the world. No. But I think that they are lost, you see, confused and deeply influenced by a culture that tells them that compassion means agreeing with everything. You see? But yet compassion without truth is not compassion at all. You see? No, it's sentimentality. You see? And it looks kind, but it leads to nowhere. Get that right. Remember, even scripture says it. There is a way, there is a road that seems right to a man, but at the end thereof is destruction. Just imagine some of these kids. Where will they be in the next 5 years? Do you think they'll be winners? You see? So, a lot of what's happening nowadays is that we are redefining morality based on convenience. and not conviction. And that is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That is wrong, because these are the future. This is the future leaders of tomorrow. You see, so many of these kids, they are actually going to school. They are being educated, but it's an education out of common sense. Even if you don't agree with me, there are ways that we do these things. We debate respectfully. You see, nobody starts shouting like that and saying foul language. No, that is not the way. That isn't the way. You see, because it seems as if they are smart enough to argue, but they're not even wise to listen. As long as you disagree with me, you are an evil guy, I should take you out. No, that is not the way. Is it? Yeah, it's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, because these days the left has gone out so far off the rails that logic doesn't seem to even make sense to them anymore. Is it? Yeah. And they call you crazy for noticing, that whatever that you seem to represent, if it's against what they believe or what their mind has chose to set on, guess what? You're crazy. I mean, like, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, that's wild. And the sad part is that most of them, they don't even know that they are lost. They don't even know what they are standing for. Because when you watch some of these video clips, you think, what are they fighting for? What is their position? What are they representing? All they're good at doing is repeating the same slogans, whatever that they hear on CNN, whatever that they hear on The View. Those are the things that they want to repeat. Or whatever that they hear their celebrity is saying on TikTok somewhere. It's crazy. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a kid, if you have a grandson, pray for them.